All right, squad, welcome back. Today, we are doing an updated Search and Destroy class and settings video for Modern Warfare Search and Destroy. I hope you all enjoy. I did a poll on Twitter, and I asked you guys, I was like, hey, I know it's late in the year, but I've been seeing some of you commenting. Do you still want this video? And you guys were all like, yes, we definitely want this video. So that is what we were doing today. Updated class and settings video. I hope you all enjoy. Leave a like if you do. If you're new to the channel as well, do me a favor and subscribe and join the Seek Squad. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. All right, starting things off with my rush classes, we've got my two try-hard ones as to my favorite class being my Uzi gang setup right here. But going over, before we get into attachments, I want to go over perks. So when it comes to my rush classes with perks, this is like my favorite setup to run, double time, restock, shrapnel. I like double time because I can run super fast, obviously. I like restocks to get my equipment back a lot, and I like shrapnel because I love spawn nades, and I like to be able to throw 2 spawn nades so the enemies have EOD, they will still die. Tune up and battle harden are also good. Sometimes I'll run tune up if the map isn't that great for spawn nades, and I'll throw tune up on it instead of shrapnel, or I'll run battle harden if they have like snapshot grenades and throwing stuns like crazy. But for the most part, I'm running shrapnel in all my classes. And then restock, I'll switch out for ghost if they have UAVs up. I'll switch out for ghost. For the most part, I am running a restock as long as I'm not solo. When I play solo search, I tend to just have ghost on 24/7 because the enemies usually inevitably get a UAV off of my teammates, giving them kill streaks. But for the most part, I like to run restock if I can, because restock is a perk that is just, it's so good being able to have unlimited stims or stuns or grenades or whatever just from restock going in. Double time, still a perk that at this point is honestly kind of underutilized in Modern Warfare. People pretty much only run EOD now. I try to switch it up and still run double time because there are some rush routes in this game that work really well with double time, because so many people expect you to be at certain areas of the map at a certain time based on just running EOD, and they don't put double time into account or stim rushing into account either, so you're able to catch them off guard with double time. So I try to run double time as much as I possibly can, but you know, lots of nades being good in this game, plus with shrapnel and restock with your equipment, it's very hard to be able to run double time, but there are certain routes to where it is very helpful, so I still run it quite a bit. Oil rig is a great example. You guys have seen me rush on oil rig. I love rushing on that map. I use double time on that map 24/7. Moving on to my lethal and tactical when it comes to rush classes, I usually run a frag or Semtex, but running Semtex a lot more as of recent because it feels like everyone's running riot shields nowadays, so I usually throw Semtex on. That way I can still spawn nade and get rid of the riot shields. I don't run thermites as much as I used to. But I run frag or Semtex. I don't really touch C4 and claymores. I play around with sometime, but for the most part, it's really just nades. I love throwing nades. Those seem to work at the best well, and spawn nades are a very simple, consistent way to get a kill if you know some good ones. Tactical, stun, smoke, stim, and snapshot. Those are the 4 that I use in this game. I don't touch any of the others. Snapshots I use on maps like Harbor or Backlot for the sake of like wall banging people. I use it on Vacant as well. I also like using them when the going gets tough, when lobbies really slow down. It's nice to have snapshots on to kind of see where enemies are going when you're not able to push up after them, so you can kind of catch them in corners and stuff like that and figure out what site they're going to. Stim rushing, obviously really good, so you can run quicker and heal yourself, especially stims plus restock is very overpowered because you can heal constantly. Really nice to have. And then stuns are very good in this game as well, especially if you're a keyboard and mouse player. If you play keyboard and mouse, you know stuns are a nightmare. It's absolute nightmare scenario. You can't do anything when on keyboard and mouse and you get stunned. And then smokes are great for maps like Piccadilly or Sawmill, so you could throw a smoke out in the middle of the map and run straight through and get a rush off. Pretty much all these classes and my routes, especially when it comes to my equipment and perks, whether that be double time or EOD, all change depending on the route I am running and on the map I am playing. If you watch my rush out videos, if you don't, I'll link the playlist down below to my rush out videos. But if you watch my rush out videos, I change, like based on the route I'm running, I'll change my perk and lethal and tactical combination to utilize that route in the best possible way that I can, which is where my rushing goes in and why I have so many different like options for routes when I play different maps, which is really nice. All right, onto my attachments for my Uzi. You guys know this is my favorite gun in the game, my only obsidian gun. We've got merch too, Uzi Gang merch. It's linked in the description on all the videos. We love the Uzi over here. My attachment combo is the Carbine Pro Barrel, Merc Foregrip, AE rounds, stippled grip, and close quarters stock. Now, one question I get asked a lot is, Seek, why do you no longer run the monolith expressor? I don't run the monolith expressor anymore because it slows your ADS speed, and the range is already so good on this gun that I decided to get rid of it for the Merc grip for the better hip fire, and it just helps with ADS speed because mono slows down your ADS speed a lot, and so it makes the gun just feel a little more, you can play a little more aggressive with it, it feels like. So I like running that. I like the feel of it. Now, the other question I get asked the most is why do you run close quarter stock instead of no stock? Is it because of the no stock nerf? Yes, it is because of the no stock nerf. Here's why. I have a lot of people still say, well, but it doesn't really affect the Uzi that much. That is true. The no stock nerf wasn't that insanely noticeable on the Uzi. The only time I really noticed it was when I challenged people like across the map. And the reason why, you know, I'm challenging people across the map with an SMG is because of the AE rounds and how much range this gun has. With the AE rounds plus the carbine pro barrel, this gun has a disgusting level of range and it outguns some assault rifles. So I want to be able to be accurate when I can challenge people long range, because 9 times out of 10 I will challenge an assault rifle at like sniper level range and I will win with my Uzi because this gun is so dead accurate and powerful. So I don't run the no stock and I run close quarter stock instead, because this gun is already super up there on the movement speed off the rip. So I don't really need that extra movement speed that the no stock gives. It's a nice bonus, but you don't really need it. Whereas the close quarter stock has much better aiming stability compared to the no stock alongside with recoil control, and it makes it easier to just hit people at long range. It's like almost pinpoint accurate. Like this thing does not move at all. It has practically no recoil, which is awesome for an SMG that has ridiculous range, that's why I run the close quarter stock on the Uzi. It is my preferred way to do it. If you like no stock, run no stock. No stock is a great option, but I'm dumb and I like to challenge people long range with this gun, and I get away with it a lot of the time. So I like running the close quarter stock to make it easier for me to do that. Next up, already explained the perks, lethal, tactical, but this is my tryhard setup. This is the lobby sweaty. I need to be boring as well, so we're using an MP5. And my MP5 setup is the mono integral suppressor, Merc foregrip, 10mm rounds, stippled grip, and sleight of hand. Now, I already know I'm gonna get 2 questions on this video. Why the 30 round mag? Why the mono barrel? Mono barrel versus the muzzle. Honestly, I don't notice a difference. Honest to God, I do not notice the difference. I know there's supposed to be like a slight difference with like the range and the aiming stability with them, but like I really don't notice a difference. I've just kind of always run the integral suppressor. So I just kind of run it. It's really it. You want whichever one you want. I have a lot of friends that prefer running the muzzle. It's all kind of personal preference. Same thing I believe goes with the ammo, 45 round versus the 10mm. The 10mm is what I've always run on the MP5, and I run the 45 round mag. I don't know, doesn't feel the same to me. I don't like it as much. I prefer the 10 mil, whether the 45 round is better or not. I know a lot of people have recently decided the 45 is now the better version. Me personally, this MP5 setup I've run for months and it still works phenomenally, so I've stuck with it and I haven't wanted to change it. This is kind of a personal preference thing. The MP5 is just such a good gun. You could kind of run whatever you want on it, and it still works phenomenally. So this is my personal setup to go. I know a lot of people don't like running sleight of hand and they like running collapsible stock instead. Collapsible is great. I've always preferred running sleight of hand just because with how quickly I like to rush, I tend to get caught. I noticed I would get caught off guard a lot when I used to run collapsible. I get caught reloading a lot, so I put sleight of hand on to help avoid getting caught reloading. But yeah, I prefer the 10 round. It's just because it's what works. It's always what I've dealt with. But if you like the 45, that's fine too. I think the difference between the mono barrel on the muzzle and the rounds is very, very, very subtle. Kind of goes down to personal preference. Run what you want to run. All right, next up to my sweaty class. I mean, like sweaty, because it's not an M4, so it's not like no friends level. You know, it's not like my friends hate me for running it. This is the CR56 AMX, which is my favorite assault rifle in Modern Warfare and one of the best assault rifles in the game. It is at this point a pretty popular assault rifle, but I still think it's underrated because, in my personal opinion, it's the best rifle in the game. Like overall. Best rifle. The FAL and the VAL are both awesome, but like as an assault rifle that also works at all ranges, I personally prefer the AMX. That's my personal favorite. My AMX setup is the mono suppressor, Zodiac barrel, commando foregrip, stippled wrap, and the exo stock. That's what I always run. If I'm gonna do the wallbang thing and switch out for FMJ, I usually take off commando and I put on FMJ. That's usually what I do. I've also been known to do take off mono and then put on FMJ instead. That works great too. But yeah, if you like the FMJ snapshot thing, this is the gun I run for that. But for the most part, this is what I run on the AMX. And then I run EOD Ghost Shrapnel. This is a sweaty class, so this class like never changes when it comes to the combination of things. I usually run EOD Ghost Shrapnel and then a stim, and then my lethal will change depending on the map I'm running and if there's riot shields. Usually it's a Semtex on this class because I don't really do as much like rush spawn nading, but I will run a frag sometimes if it is a map like Shoot House, for example. You can get a spawn nade off just like right off from the spawn. Moving on to my sniper class. I love sniping in this game. I've not done it as much, mainly because I've switched to keyboard and mouse over the past few months. For those of you that don't know, I'm on keyboard and mouse, and I have been on keyboard and mouse for a few months now. And I'm not that great at sniping on keyboard and mouse yet. I've been like gradually doing it. I need to like sit down and just like spend a night just like shooting bots in custom games over and over again to get used to aiming and then shooting with a sniper on keyboard and mouse, but I really haven't done it on controller. I love sniping though. My preferred sniping setup in this game is this right here, my AX50 class, because I can play aggressive with it, but it also still packs a punch. Got the 17 barrel tac laser, arms assassin stock, focus, and stippled grip. I also really like the HDR as well, and on my HDR, I run the tac laser, scout stock, focus, and the bipod, because there's no reason to not run the bipod, so like why not? But that is what I run on it. And then I run the cross thread reticle. I get asked a lot what reticle that is. That is the cross thread reticle that I'm running on my HDR, because I do not like the HDR default sights at all. I run the cross thread one because it's the same one that's on the AX50, and I like the way the AX50s work. For secondary, there's two different secondaries I like to run for my snipers. I like the Renetti, which is basically the Modern Warfare 2 burst pistol when you set it up correctly. I run the Compensator Pro muzzle, burst mod, obviously, lightweight trigger, 20 round mag, and the speed grip. That's my personal way to run it. And then I also like running the dual M19s, which are disgusting. Where is it? Here we go. My dual M19s, which I run the 5mm laser, XRK extended barrel, lightweight trigger, 20 round mag, and then akimbo, which these are also disgusting too. Both pistols are good options to run. Perks rise, I run EOD, Ghost, Amped. I run Amped so I can switch between guns quick. If I get rushed, I can switch really quick. Also, with my sniper class, I tend to like to pick up a gun. I kill an enemy, and if I find their primary weapon, I'll pick it up and I'll ditch my pistols. So I like having Amped for that in particular, because switching from pistols to sniper is fairly quick, but switching from a primary weapon that I pick up off the ground kind of takes a while. So I like to run Amped for when I do pick up someone's gun, because I tend to get a kill and then immediately pick up whatever primary I find, because it's usually a better option than the pistol. And then I run Semtex and then a Stim as my tactical. Sometimes I'll run stun on the sniper setup, but for the most part, I'm running Stim, because if I get rushed by people, I want to be able to Stim and then pick them off. It's just kind of just trying to stay alive and stay back, especially if I get naded, for example. I want to be able to Stim and heal myself before the enemy rushes me. All right, next up is my no friends setup. I get a lot of laughs out of this one. This setup used to be owned by a 725, but man, I feel so gross when I use that gun. But I put on a gun I don't feel as gross to use, but it's still super sweaty when it comes to needing to get the dub in SnD, which is the M4. Now, my M4 setup I run is Compensator, M16 Grenadier Barrel, Commando foregrip, stippled grip, and the close quarter stock. A lot of people always ask me, why M16 over Corvus? I've just always preferred the M16 barrel. Corvus is good. It's honestly one of those things where it's like, this gun is so good that you don't, like, pretty much you can run anything and it's good on the gun. M16 barrel has always been the one that I have thought felt better compared to the Corvus when it comes to recoil control and power at range. I've always preferred the M16 barrel, so that is what I run. But yeah, M16 Grenadier Barrel, Commando foregrip, stipple grip, and close quarter stock. That's the setup for the M4. Knife secondary, obviously for speed. I guess I should address this now. I didn't address this earlier with the rush shot class, but why do I have a knife secondary instead of Kali sticks? I've always preferred the knife to Kali sticks because the knife is a one-hit kill and it is faster to switch between guns than with the Kali sticks. The Kali sticks kind of take a while when you're switching back to your primary weapon, and I don't like that. I know the Kali sticks are a little bit faster than the knife, but all my friends that run Kali sticks, Handler, for example, when I play with them, I'm kind of still just like right with them when we're rushing. Like, it's not that much of a boost in speed to really matter to me, and because of that, I don't run them. Kali sticks are great, you know, 2-hit kill, it's quick, it's cool, but like, I've always preferred the knife, so that's just what I'm sticking with, and that's what I've always run. Run what you want to run, but I prefer the knife. Perks wise, when it comes to this setup's sweaty. So we got EOD, Ghost, Battle Hardened, straight up. That's it. I'm not gonna get stunned, not gonna get naded. This is my class. This is my tank class. This is the I'm gonna sit head glitch in the bomb and not move for the entire round. It's gonna be really boring, but you will not win. That's what this class setup is for. Lethal, Semtex or frag again, and then again usually stun or stim. This class usually never sees a smoke unless it's like Piccadilly, maybe. But for the most part, running stun or stim on this setup. Typically stim. But I do like running stuns sometimes as well, just depending on how slow I plan on playing things, because this class usually does not get pulled out unless like it's like I need to get like a 1-5 comeback while I'm on defense. Like this is a class that does not see the light of day very often. All right, my next and final class I want to show you guys is the new meta, the recent gun that's OP. The new God, this gun's amazing. This gun is amazing, and I honestly hate how much I enjoy using it, because it's just such a fun gun to use because it's a rifle that I can play super aggressive with. It reminds me a lot of the Maddox from Black Ops 4, if you remember that gun. The Maddox was a mid-range rifle that was basically better than all the SMGs. That's literally what this gun is. This is the Val. We run the 200mm barrel, Merc foregrip, 30 mag stippled grip, and the 6P30 stock. I know that a lot of people like to run the commando grip and then the VOK stock, and that is also a great combination for attachments. With the way I like to play this gun, I like to play super aggressive with it, and it just feels better setting it up more like an SMG, running the Merc grip and then the stock that helps my and essentially the skeleton stock is what this is, that just helps my movement speed a bit more when it comes to ADSing and ADS walking and whatnot. So I kind of prefer running this setup. The other setup is all right, but with how I use this gun, it just doesn't work well for me, so I don't use it. It just wasn't until I started using this setup that I liked the gun. Everyone was having me use the VOK stock in that setup, and I did not like it until I switched things up. So this is the setup I like to run. If you like to play more aggressive, I'd recommend giving this setup with the Val a go. I know most people are just running the commando grip and the VOK stock, but telling you, run rush routes with this gun like it is an SMG with this setup, and you will have an absolute blast. This gun is disgusting. Knife secondary, double time ghost shrapnel, frag, and a stun. Again, all the perks in lethal tactical change depending on where I'm gonna rush. This class is kind of more of a rush setup than a rifle setup, so with that being said, my perk and everything, my perk combination and whatnot kind of is again allocated towards the route I'm running on each map. All right, moving on to my kill streaks. Kill streak combo: UAV, precision airstrike, VTOL. I will sometimes switch out the VTOL for the chopper gunner, because the chopper gunner is probably my favorite streak in Modern Warfare. I love using it. The VTOL is kind of the smarter one to run because it's honestly probably like the better overall streak, but like the chopper gunner is just really fun to use. I run precision airstrike over cruise missile because on keyboard and mouse, it's just the cruise missile kind of sucks. But if I'm on control, I use cruise missile. These two are both great to switch out from. And then UAV, always have a UAV on. It's just nice to have. Never in a billion years run personal radar. I see too many people running personal radar in Search and Destroy. Don't use it. It is not good to use. It is practically, it tells you where enemies are, but it also tells them exactly where you are because the helicopter hovers directly above you and it's on the minimap. So it's more likely to get you killed than it is going to help you. I do not recommend running it. Run a UAV instead. It's only one more kill. But yes, besides that, there's not really many kill streaks in this game that are actually like good. The gunship is okay, but the chopper gunner I think is so much better. The gunship, you can't like control where it goes and whatnot, and it has like an extra option for like bullets for things to kill, an extra option for missiles and whatnot, and a little more ammo, sure, but like you can't control where it moves. And in Search and Destroy, the chopper gunner has like 8 rockets and then like unlimited of that, unlimited of like the smaller rounds, and that's really all you need to obliterate the team. Half the time when you call the chopper gunner in, everybody just immediately backs out and you win as well. So chopper gunner over gunship in my opinion. Support helo is okay, but VTOL's better, I think. Overall, there's not, I'm hoping for better kill streaks in Cold War, because in this game the kill streaks are kind of dry, but the few that are good are definitely worth running. UAV, airstrike, and VTOL are probably like the main 3 that I run, and then I also run the chopper gunner a lot. All right, field upgrade. I shouldn't have to say this. Dead silence, dead silence, dead silence. That's it. Okay, moving on. All right, finally, my settings in Modern Warfare. I have for you my controller settings alongside my keyboard and mouse settings. For those of you that know, when I do play controller, I play keyboard and mouse mainly, but when I do throw on the controller, I run a SCUF controller with 2 paddles on the back, and I have a Control Freak Alpha, the Alpha Control Freak, that's the type of Control Freak, on the right thumbstick. That is what I run. You can also, by the way, use code SEEK for a discount on Control Freak. For those of you guys that do not know that, Control Freak is one of the partners of the channel. Love those guys. But yeah, SCUF controller, 2 paddles on my back. My left paddle is my X, and my right paddle is my circle. And then I have the Control Freak on the right thumbstick. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my mic, and I'm just gonna scroll through all my settings, my controller settings, my keybinds, everything, so you guys can take a look at them in Modern Warfare and just see them. I don't need to explain how they work. I'm just gonna show them off to you guys. So I'm gonna do that right now. All right, squad, that is it for the updated class and settings. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask them. Be happy to answer as many as I possibly can. Hope this video helps with some class setups and whatnot. Thank you guys for watching. Drop a like if you enjoyed. If you are new to the channel as well, do me a favor and subscribe and join the C Squad, especially if you're a fan of Search and Destroy. I will catch you all in the next one. Seek and Destroy. It's been Sigger.